Hey, what's going on? It's Dr. Gonzo Boogie here again, back for another DVD and VHS update. And it's actually been 2 weeks since my last update video, so I have a lot to show here. I have the DVDs and tapes that I've picked up over the past 2 weeks, and I have some Christmas presents mixed in here. So when I'm going through these, I'll try to, point out to you guys which ones were Christmas gifts. But also, since I have a lot to show here, I wasn't going to spend too much. I was going to try not to spend too much time on each title and just kind of go through them as fast as I can. So I guess I'm just going to get started. And first off, I'll show you guys the stack of DVDs I have. And this is Dario Argento's Phantom of the Opera. And this one I actually picked up at a thrift store for $3, and I was really excited because this is an Argento film I've never seen. I still haven't watched it, but I'm really looking forward to checking this one out soon. And this one stars his daughter in it, which she always does a good job in his movies. And it just looks like an interesting movie. And it was in really good condition. The case is nice, the disc is nice, and it also came with the insert. So I know this DVD is actually not that hard to find, but still finding it for $3 I thought was a really good deal. Next up, I have a couple new David Cronenberg films for my collection. This one was actually a gift from my friend Joel. Me and him are in a band together, and we're really good friends. And I was extremely excited when he gave me this as a present because I love David Cronenberg. He's one of my favorite directors right now. And this is a movie that I've never seen from him. And this DVD is actually kind of hard to find. It's out of print, and I know it goes for a lot of money. It goes for probably like $20, $30 new. And used, it's hard to find it for like cheaper than $10. So it was really nice to get this one as a gift because there's been a lot of times that I've wanted to buy this DVD, but since it is out of print and tends to be a little bit more expensive, I passed on it a bunch of times. So I'm glad to finally get this one, and I'm really looking forward to also checking this one out soon too. Next up here is actually the Criterion edition of Naked Lunch, and this is another Christmas gift. I actually got this one from my mom, which was awesome. And I actually just watched this movie all the way through for the first time, probably like 2-3 weeks ago. I have the VHS of this, which isn't in the best condition, so I'm definitely looking forward to watching the Criterion transfer of this. It's probably a lot better than the tape I have. And this is just a weird movie, but really awesome. Just right up like there with all David Cronenberg's other like weird films like Videodrome and Scanners. I just thought this was a great film, just really cool. I loved the book that it was based on, and William S. Burroughs, the author of the Naked Lunch book, actually like approved of this film. He thought it was a pretty good adaptation and everything. And a lot of times when a director adapts an author's book, they usually don't really like it. I know with Hunter S. Thompson, when Terry Gilliam made Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, he wasn't really that big of a fan of the outcome of the movie. He didn't think it quite represented the story truthfully. But with stories like Fear and Loathing and Naked Lunch, it's hard to adapt very like abstract stories like that. But David Cronenberg really did a good job on this film, and I just think it's an awesome, crazy film. Definitely worth watching if you're a fan of David Cronenberg's films or William S. Burroughs novels. And like all Criterion editions, it came with a really nice booklet, and it's in a really nice case, and both the discs look cool. So I was just extremely happy about this, and looking forward to checking out the quality of the transfer on this. It's probably really nice. Actually, next up I have a nice little stack of John Carpenter films for my collection. And first off is Assault on Precinct 13. I've actually never seen this, and I've passed on this a bunch of times, but just recently I felt like I should see this because John Carpenter is one of my favorite directors, and I've always thought that his 70s and 80s films were his best, and this is one of his 70s films, and I've never seen it, so definitely looking forward to checking this one out. John Carpenter's the man, probably one of the best directors ever in my opinion. And next up is They Live, which I've had this movie on a 4-pack, a DVD John Carpenter 4-pack. And this is actually one of my favorite John Carpenter films. I would probably say it's my third favorite. My first is probably Halloween, and my second is probably The Thing. And then after that, it's this. I just think this is a badass film. The story is awesome. Everything about it is just great. And Roddy Piper does a really cool job in this movie. He gets in a really cool fight in this, and just everything about it. The whole idea of these sunglasses that you put on, it makes you see the world how it really is. It's just a great story, and John Carpenter just pulled it off really good, because it could have came out, you know, with the wrong director and everything. It could have came out like shitty, and John Carpenter just does a great job with ideas like this. Just really good with this. Just one of my favorite movies from him, actually. And next up here is another John Carpenter movie, and this one I've actually never seen either, and this is Vampires. But I figured I'd check this one out because James Woods is in it, and I'm a big James Woods fan. He's a really good actor in my opinion. And I found this at FYE for like $3-4 brand new, so I thought, you know, why not just try it out. John Carpenter's Vampires. And then here I was really excited about this. This was a Christmas gift from my mom. And this is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, the movie on DVD. And I actually used to have this in a 2-pack, an Anchor Bay 2-pack that comes with another movie. But I've been wanting to get it on its own for a while. I have a separate copy of this on VHS, but I thought it was about time to pick up the DVD since I've been extremely obsessed with Elvira lately. I love her show and everything, so just glad to get some more Elvira stuff for my collection. And this came with the insert, which is a nice little booklet thing, which I'll show you guys because this is an Anchor Bay release. The cover right there, the inside of that, and then the chapter selection. Really cool. Excited to get this, and definitely looking forward to checking this out again. Seen this movie probably like 2-3 times now, but just great. Love watching this. Really funny. Alright, next up here, I picked up this zombie pack, which comes with Zombie 3, Zombie 4, After Death, and Zombie 5, The Killing Birds. And I actually used to have this pack when it first came out, and the one that I had, it had all these movies in separate cases, and it was in a box that had the same artwork as this. So I was actually a little disappointed when I got this one in the mail. This was one that I ordered, and it was a re-release of this in a like slim case like this. But I was still happy that they included all the discs, and they're set up nicely. But from what I remember and from what I've seen in reviews, these movies are mostly garbage and not that good. They're not really good zombie movies, and they're not that good horror movies in general. But I'm definitely looking forward to checking out Zombie 3 again. And I'll probably check out the other ones too, just for fun. So I was glad to pick this one up. I just wish that I got the box set edition of this and not the re-released pack like this. But still, I think it's cool to have either way. Right, next up here, I actually have a couple of Texas Chainsaw Massacre related things. I picked up the 2-disc Ultimate Edition of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and this is an older release from 2006. There's a new 2-disc that just came out, and a new like Blu-ray Ultimate Edition, whatever it is, that just came out too. But I found this one at this store I go to called Game Exchange, and it was $5. And I had traded in some DVDs with them, so I was able to get this with just credit. So I thought that was cool. So I picked it up because it was one of the more interesting things they had there, and it was in really good condition. The case is in nice condition. It has a few scuff marks, but barely anything. And the discs were in mint condition. And it's just a nice looking set. So I mean, this set has been out for a while, so I'm sure all of you guys have seen this by now, but I'm still excited to pick this one up. And then I also picked up the Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. I found this at a pawn shop for $1. I usually don't buy newer movies like this because I usually don't tend to want to rewatch them all the time. Like if I'm watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, I'll probably watch this every once in a while, especially if I watch the remake that, you know, this is a prequel to, I guess. But I remember seeing this one when it came out. I was a big fan of the remake when it first came out. I remember I got the tape right when it came out and just loved it. So when this came out, of course, I had to see it, and I remember sort of liking it back then, but I do remember not liking it as much even back then. And I just not that big of a fan of the story of this movie. I think that the remake is a lot better, but I still figured I'd pick it up for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre collection. And for $1 at the pawn shop, I thought it was a good deal. It was actually in pretty good condition. The disc and everything was in nice shape, and it still came with all the insert download things, so I thought that was cool. And then I actually picked this up at that same pawn shop for $1, which this was probably one of the coolest things they had there. It's just in a little bit of rough shape. This is the Boogeyman. This is the 1980 film, directed by this guy's name right there, because I can't pronounce it. And he's directed other movies. I actually have a VHS of Cocaine Cowboys. It's got Andy Warhol in it, and he directed that movie. So I don't want to butcher his name. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen if you weren't able to see it when I showed the DVD right there. But he's one of those directors that has like a lot of mixed like reviews. Like not too many of his movies get like really good reviews, but he has a couple that have like a cult following. And this is kind of one of those. This is the Boogeyman, and this actually is a 2-pack that also comes with the third in the Boogeyman series, which is called The Return of the Boogeyman. But I think the reason they included that one is because it actually features sort of the same killer as in the first one, in a way, where the second Boogeyman movie is like a totally different story. So I've actually seen the original Boogeyman before. I had it on a 2-pack. An Anchor Bay 2-pack that came with another one of his movies. I think it was called like the Devonsville Terror or something like that. It's like a witchcraft movie, but it was made by the same director. So, just definitely looking forward to checking these out again, because it's been a while since I've seen them. And next up here is Bubba Hotep from Don Carcerelli, who also directed the Phantasm films. And I remember when this one first came out, I saw it and I liked it. It had Bruce Campbell in it. I'm a huge fan of the Evil Dead films and all that. And this is just a fun movie. Not one of those movies you take too seriously. It's got mummies in it. It's got Elvis and JFK supposedly in it, like after their deaths and all that. Like they're like some conspiracy theories with this. I just think this is a pretty fun movie, and it's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm looking forward to checking this one out again. I actually found this at a pawn shop for like $3. The same pawn shop actually that I got that other DVD at that I was talking about earlier, the Phantom of the Opera from Argento. I got this one at the same pawn shop, so I have pretty good luck there sometimes. Alright, next up I picked up the Prophecy 2-pack with Christopher Walken. I've actually never seen these films, but I'm actually a pretty big fan of Christopher Walken as an actor. I love The Dead Zone, so I wanted to check out some more of his like horror-related movies, so I figured I would pick this one up. I was actually looking for it at Walmart in the $5 bin, and I couldn't find it, but I found it at FYE for $4.99 anyways. So I'm actually looking forward to checking these out, and I plan to actually watch these pretty soon. And that is it for the horror-related stuff. But I have a couple random DVDs I picked up too. This is Spinal Tap. This is a really funny comedy movie about the fake rock and roll band Spinal Tap, which is actually sort of like a real band now, basically. And this is just a really funny movie. I'm sure everyone, if you haven't seen this, you at least know some of the classic lines and stuff from this movie. And it's just a classic, an 80s classic in my opinion, and one of my favorite rock and roll comedies. And this is the special edition. Came in this cool silver case. And I found this one at a thrift store for like $2. So usually I would pass on something like this if I find it at Walmart or FYE, but for $2 I thought, why not? And then last here for the DVDs, I actually bought this before Christmas, and this is a pack that comes with some random budget Santa Claus movies, but the reason I picked this one up because it comes with Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, which is just classic sci-fi cheese, like up there with Ed Wood. I watched that a couple days before Christmas, and it's kind of a funny movie. It's about like the kids on Mars are like sad for some reason, so they try to kidnap Santa to bring joy to the children on Mars, but you know, Earth doesn't like the idea of Santa Claus getting kidnapped, so it starts this whole fight thing. I just thought it was a pretty fun movie. And some of the other movies on this I wanted to check out too, like this one that's just called Santa Claus. It has like Santa fighting some like demon with Merlin the Magician. That sounds interesting. And then it also came with some like short films, which I checked one out just for fun. I checked out the one called The Home of Santa Claus, I think. And it comes with like 3 just random short films, and I thought it was going to be like an animation or like some cheesy little kids thing. And it actually was like a small documentary about the like history behind the real Santa Claus and the history behind Christmas. It was like very odd. I was like taken off guard by it because the like intro, the title for it had like a little kid song playing with like cartoon Santa, and then out of nowhere it just like switches to like almost like a serious tone documentary. So I thought that was weird, but it's still kind of interesting to watch. And I found this brand new at the thrift store for like a couple bucks. I figured it was worth it alone just for Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. And that was it for the DVDs, but I have a small stack of tapes here to show. Alright, and first off here we have a tape that I got for a Christmas gift, and this is actually one of the Elvira thriller video tapes. These are extremely hard to find and go for a lot of money on the computer. And this is The House That Bled to Death. And I actually watched this recently, and it's part of one of the Hammer TV series that was around back in the like late 70s or early 80s, whatever. And the episode was actually not that good, and I was a little disappointed that Elvira only appeared at the beginning and end of the show, because in her other show, Movie Macabre, she appears at least like 3-4 times throughout each movie. So it's like you see a lot of Elvira, and she does like little skits between like one of the Movie Macabre episodes. She does like cooking with Elvira, and this just didn't really have anything like that. It almost seemed kind of like rushed, you know, like she just filmed these like really quick intro and outro sequences, and they just like pasted them on basically to sell the tape, which is probably what they did. But these tapes actually go for a real lot of money online. I paid, well, I got this for a gift, but I know the person who paid for it didn't pay that much for it. Actually got a pretty good deal on this because of the condition it's in. It's a little roughed up, but most of the time these go from anywhere from, I would say, like $50 to like $150, depending on the condition it's in. And most of the time, this is a big box tape right here. Most of the time you find these cut. So they've been cut to fit one of the clamshell VHS cases, like one of the Disney cases or whatever. And so to find these together like this is hard to do, especially for a good price. So I was really glad to get this one, but I'm probably never going to be able to buy many more of these because they're just too expensive for me to collect. And the fact that Elvira really isn't in these except in the intro and outro kind of makes me feel like it's not really worth trying to spend the money on all these. But really happy to have this for the Elvira collection because these are hard to find. So, you know, just excited about this one. Probably one of the coolest gifts I got for Christmas. This is another sort of big box tape here. I picked this up just because it was $1 at the thrift store and it was sort of interesting. It was actually Alfred Hitchcock, The Man Who Knew Too Much. And this is a VHS tape, and it's just in this really odd cardboard case. It's basically the same size of a big box VHS tape, but it's like skinnier. It's like the same, it's like just as skinny as like a normal VHS. So it's just kind of weird. Never really seen a tape like this, but it was sealed, so it was brand new, and it was only $1. So I figured I would just pick it up for fun. I've actually never seen this movie, but it's got Peter Lorre in it, so I actually think I might pop this one open and check it out because I'm sure it's not worth that much. Brand new, sealed. It is part of the Star Classics, which I'm sure is just the budgety line that releases, you know, public domain films. But it looks cool anyways. And then this is another tape that was sort of in a big box type thing, and this is an episode from the original Star Trek series, which I'm a pretty big fan of. I someday wish to get all 3 seasons of that on DVD, because I just think it's a fun show to watch. It's kind of, it deals with a lot of the same subjects as Twilight Zone almost, but it's just not in the same, it's just not told in the same way. It's like different. But I've always really liked this show. I started watching it in high school when I was really into like 2001: A Space Odyssey, and I was into a lot of space stuff, so I figured I would check this one out, and I ended up really liking it. So this actually has one of my favorite episodes ever on it, which is called "What Are Little Girls Made Of?" Just a classic episode. It has the actor who played Lurch in it from the original Addams Family show, and just everything about it is a great classic episode. This is a good show. I'd highly recommend it. And this is one of these, like, part of a collection. They had like 2 or 3 drawers filled with these, and I was digging around trying to find some of my favorite episodes, and I found What Are Little Girls Made Of, so I picked that one up. Probably at a thrift store for like $1. And next up, I'll just show these last 3 tapes real quickly. This one is House, the 80s slasher movie, directed by Steve Miner and produced by Sean S. Cunningham, and the music is done by Harry Manfredini. So this has a lot of people related to the Friday the 13th series working on it. And this is a pretty good movie. I've only seen it once, and I don't remember it too good, but I have the Anchor Bay DVD of this, so I'll either have to check out the tape or DVD once again for sure. But just nice. I love finding these like obscure 80s, like more obscure 80s horror movies on tape. I just always think they're cool to collect. And then I picked up Abba and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with Boris Karloff. And this is one of my favorite Abba and Costello movies, and it's kind of hard to find on DVD. You can only buy it in those in Abba and Costello packs that come with more than one of their movies, and I just don't really feel like buying those packs right now because I'm mostly just a fan of their monster movies. I've seen some of their movies without the monsters in it, and they're fun to watch still. They're funny movies, but I love the Universal Monsters, which is the main reason I started to watch Abbott and Costello movies anyways. But this one's really good, and I was happy to find this one. I found it at a thrift store for just like $1, I think, and just happy to find this because I don't have it on DVD or tape, but now I have it on tape. And I actually just watched this one a couple nights ago, and just classic. I would highly recommend this one if you like older comedies or Universal monster movies. And then last for the update is the Odyssey, and this is I think this was a made-for-TV movie. Might have been on the Hallmark channel because it says Hallmark on the back of it, or NBC because it has the NBC logo on it too. But actually, when I was in high school, we read the Odyssey book, and in the class I was in, we also watched this movie. And I remember liking it back in high school enough where me and my friends were, at that time in high school, we were making our own sketch comedy show in our free time called Jethro Scratcham's Floating Carnival, which was a sort of rip-off on Monty Python's Flying Circus. And during the time when we were reading and watching this in class, we were actually filming Odyssey parody skits on our own time. So I just, I have some fond memories related to this movie and the book. So, I just figured I'd check out the movie again. But that was the update for this time around, and this is probably going to be my last video of this year, so I won't be seeing you guys again until next year, but we're almost there anyway, so that'll be soon enough. And next year I plan to still just be doing the videos as much as I do now. I hope to get updates up every week or so, and to put some other random videos up. Actually, for like DVD collection videos, some of the ones that I plan on doing first next year, I was going to show my entire David Cronenberg DVD and VHS collection, and I was going to show off my Elvira collection. I also plan on doing a couple more record and CD updates for anyone looking forward to that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video like always, and thanks for watching. Definitely give it a thumbs up or leave a comment if you liked it. And also, sorry if there was a little trouble with the audio in this video. Sometimes the videos are longer, my computer overheats, and I film off my webcam, so the webcam picks that up. So if there is some background noise in this video, again, sorry for that, and thanks for watching.